in 1920s America, you find a very divided society, and the magical community is very concerned and fearful of being exposed to the non-magical. All these sort of details, she sees a whole entire universe, and I found even just in meeting her, I had the same response you do when you read the books or see the movies. You're just like, yeah, and then what happens? You know, you just kind of want to like curl up by the fire with her and hear her stories. It's just, she has that gift. This is part of what I love about Tina, is that she's flawed and she often doesn't achieve exactly what she is pursuing, or things don't always work out for her as she hopes, but she is good at her job, and I think that the moment that she sees Newt, she knows there's something going on with him, even though she doesn't exactly know what. That, to me, that was the first clue that she's not just a total disaster. You know, she has good instincts. This is what's so amazing and kind of insane about working in film, is that sometimes you've just met the person and then you have to move around in a space together as though you do it every day. So we kind of scrambled to quickly figure out, well, how would they prepare the room together, whose chores are whose, and, you know, so I was sort of setting the table with my wand, and she was preparing the meal, and then a little, you know, we developed a little like superstitious kind of salt over the shoulder toss thing, and just to kind of give the audience a sense of their life together that is very insulated and private. Joe and the Davids all have a pretty uncommon, unusual ability to visualize what's not in front of them. They're all incredibly imaginative, and most of us grow out of that at age 7 or something, you know, and they're able to both have that, you know, childlike capacity for fantasy, but also manage all the really practical details of it. It's really hard to find people who can kind of have both of those abilities at once. And it's a great comfort to have them at the helm, because, you know, not only that they have all this experience with this particular world, but that they can kind of manage and explore it really well.
When I read this script, I found it funny. I found it thrilling. I found it dramatic. For those people that are fans of the Harry Potter world, it's taking all of that imagination and taking it to a place, taking it to the 1920s, to New York. What Newt believes is he sees the wonder and the brilliance in these animals, and he believes that the wizarding community with a proper education could learn to live side by side with these animals and appreciate how extraordinary they are. So he travels around the world, he's researching his book, and he has spent, at the beginning of this film, he spent a year in the field, and he collects these endangered species, and he keeps them in his case, which in itself is a sort of wondrous plethora of terrains. It's a huge space down there, and he sort of looks after them, and his plan is to study them and to educate the wizarding world on them. I love is how thorough it is, and when I got to meet her, you know, I'd read the script and loved this character, but I don't think we even did any sort of pleasantries. We just jumped straight into his character, and she gave me all of his backstory and any question I had about him and this world and all the animals. I mean, she had such a kind of legacy of history, and for an actor, that's the dream. You know, if you're playing, normally you just get to read what's on the page, let alone having the actual, you know, the mind and the imagination of Joe to guide me through it was amazing. that camaraderie is an essential element to it. For Newt, he stumbles into these three people, Tina, Queenie, and Jacob, and throughout the film he finds a connection with Jacob. There's this kind of odd buddy movie quality to it. These two people who couldn't be more different end up finding real contact with each other, and with Catherine's character, with Tina, it's a sort of slow build connection. These two people who are outsiders, and yet passionate people, sort of begin to glimpse and find each other, and this idea of friendship is kind of at the core of the piece. I've just enjoyed working with both David Yates and David Emmons so much. It's so clear that Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts come from a place in J.K. Rowling's heart, and she is incredibly passionate about it. And I can't think of two more passionate people to take those stories and take them out into the world as far as film's concerned. They are scrupulous with character and with coming up with ideas and really allowing you the space and freedom to come up with your own ideas as well, whilst also having this childlike sense of wonder and encouraging that in us. There is this incredibly mysterious figure called Grindelwald who has been wreaking havoc in Europe and has disappeared. It has caused the wizarding community internationally a huge amount of fear, because there is an element to Grindelwald that has a kind of fascistic qualities. He has a brutality to him. He believes in the superiority of the wizarding community over the Muggle community, the No-Maj community, and he's ruthless. In New York at this time, there have been events, just incredibly brutal occurrences that are inexplicable. And that has caused great tension amongst the wizarding community because they tend to be able to explain everything, and these particular occurrences seem inexplicable.